Welcome to Sib Spot. Today's Reddit stories are from Am I the Butthole? Story 1 is by Skincare Saltwater. Am I the butthole for, quote, tricking my sister-in-law and, quote, ruining her skin? I don't even know why I'm posting this. I think it's ridiculous, but my sister-in-law, mother-in-law, and my own mother think I'm the butthole. So I'm a 17 male, and my sister-in-law is a 29 female, and their family is hosting a family gathering. They are big on family, and they have room to invite literally everyone, which includes my parents, my older sister, and me, since we are technically family. Now, I'm big on skincare. I had horrible skin when I was 13, and I started on a way to fix it, but even after my skin got better, I just decided I liked it. It kept my skin looking good, and it felt relaxing. I packed my essentials for the 2 weeks we would be there. I'll admit it was still quite a lot, but it wasn't inane. The room I was staying in was shared with one of sister-in-law's nieces near my age. The bedroom had an in-suite bathroom. I put all my things on the shelf, making sure with the niece that I wasn't taking up too much room. Sister-in-law came to check on us and saw all my things, and she asked about some things I have since they were expensive brands. She's made it a big point that she and her family have a lot more money than my family over the years. I told her I saved and got them myself. I have a job. She asked to use them, and I said no because they were expensive and I wanted them to last as long as possible. She seemed annoyed, but just left. Over the next few days, my sister-in-law was complaining that her skin was dry and itchy. I didn't think anything of it. Halfway through the stay, she came storming down the stairs and threw a small spray bottle at me, asking me why the F I did this to her. I was confused and asked what she meant. Turns out she had been going into the bathroom I share with my niece and using my skincare. But she's been using what she thought was a spray bottle of water at the end. But she's actually been using a bottle of salt water, which I have because I have 4 pretty fresh ear piercing. At first I asked why the F she was using my stuff, and she said it's her family's house, so she can use it. I tell her no, it's my stuff, and I said no. She just reiterated her point and then asked why I would trick her like this. I explained that it's salt water for my ears, but she just called me a liar, asking why I would have put it on the bathroom shelf next to the rest of my skincare stuff. She then went on about how I purposefully ruined her skin. I again tried explaining myself. Sister-in-law then turns to my mother and her mother, and she said she asked about my skincare, and I had explained everything and said this bottle was water, which was total BS. She only asked about my expensive ones. Her niece backed me up, but sister-in-law called niece a liar. Mother-in-law was angry and said I'm horrible and just jealous of sister-in-law, and my mother said she's disappointed and embarrassed at me. This then caused her and my dad to argue, and now I feel like crap. Sister-in-law's family and my mother are ignoring me or being passive-aggressive, and they even threw out my salt water and won't let me make a new batch and have stopped me when I try. I don't know what to do. Am I the butthole? No, and I think your family is insane. Everybody who thinks that you're the butthole in this situation. She came into your room, asked if she could use the stuff, and you said no, which is totally okay for you to do. Like, if you're a guest at somebody's place, most people would probably say, yeah, sure. But it's this special, expensive skincare stuff, and they have lots of money. If she wants to try it, she can go get her own. But she's been sneaking into your room and using your stuff? Just imagine for a second that you have some medication prescribed by a doctor that you have to take and it makes you feel good. And she says, can I have some of that? And you say no, and she sneaks in and uses it anyway. Very similar situation, very similar outcome. She gets sick off of it, or some part of her body gets damaged by taking this. Would your mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and your mom still be mad about it? You need to describe that kind of scenario to them and say, what is wrong with you? How do you not see that this is bad? Most of the comments underneath were overwhelmingly saying you're not the butthole here. And you're not. You're simply not. Underneath in the comments by Prangalina. Not the butthole. She stole your things and then had the gall to complain. Under that by Boeing 36780. There are horrible, irrational people in the world, and OP just met some. Opie did nothing wrong. Sister-in-law was hoist on her own petard, which is just an old-fashioned from Shakespeare way of saying she was blown up by her own bomb. Another example, brought it on herself. But horrible, irrational, entitled people, in other words, jerks, often double down when they are called out because they are often incapable of admitting fault. It's not a reason to doubt yourself. In fact, it's confirmation of their swinishness. Opie's mother is probably trying to keep the peace, or maybe she has a problem with OP having the skincare stuff. Who knows? Whatever reason, she's just as wrong. But some people supported you. Thank them for being decent humans. OP, your visit will be over soon. Try not to mix with these people again. They are not good people. You will be an adult soon and have much more control over the direction of your life. For now, take this as a lesson in the horribleness of some people and how those kinds of people are not to be reasoned with, but instead minimized from your life. I think that was a really good response right there. The horribleness of people. Some people. Not many, but they exist. Our next story is by Conscious Flight 7402. Am I the butthole for refusing to pay for my sister's wedding dress after she ruined mine? Hey Reddit, long-time lurker, first-time poster. This situation has been eating me up and I'd really appreciate some outsider perspectives. I'm a 28 female and my sister is a 26 female. We've had our ups and downs, as most siblings do. However, we've been really close the past few years, and I was so excited to have her as my maid of honor for my wedding last year. Flashback to my wedding day, I had this beautiful dress that I spent a fortune on. After the ceremony and during the reception, I noticed some red wine had been spilled on the bottom of my dress. I was devastated. I later found out from a bridesmaid that my sister had accidentally knocked over her wine glass when she was trying to take a funny photo. She didn't come forward about it and didn't even apologize when I confronted her. Fast forward to now. My sister is getting married and she's fallen in love with a dress that's way out of her budget. She asked if I'd help her pay for half of it as a wedding gift. I flat out refused. I brought up how she ruined my dress and didn't take responsibility, and I feel like I shouldn't have to contribute towards hers. Now my family is divided. Half of them think I'm being petty and that I should let go of my past grudges. The other half thinks I'm justified. So, am I the butthole for refusing to pay for my sister's wedding dress after she ruined mine? I don't think you're a butthole for refusing to pay for it. You're not obligated to cover half of anything for her just because she chooses that's what she wants and she can't afford it, so you should pay for half of it as a gift for her. That is pretty entitled of her. I don't know. Nowhere in your story did you ever say that you had proof that she ruined your dress. There is a mention of her wanting to take a funny photo. Do you have a picture that proves that she was pouring this on your dress? I just think that it might be possible that she didn't do it, that the bridesmaid lied to you. I see no proof in this. So if your only reason for refusing to help her pay for this dress is because she ruined yours in the past and refuses to own up for it, you don't have proof. So you're kind of a butthole for refusing to help her, if that's your only reason. That being said, she should be able to pay for her own wedding dress, and if she can't, she should get one that fits more within her budget. You're not obligated to pay for anything of hers for her wedding. If she did ruin your dress, and she's lying about it, that makes her a butthole. If she didn't ruin it, and she's insisting it never happened, and you're saying, I'm not going to pay for it because you ruined mine, that makes you the butthole. But her asking you to pay for half of it, regardless of what happened at your own wedding, makes her a bit of a butthole too. I don't know. That one's kind of up in the air to me because she still insists that that never happened. It could have completely been the bridesmaid that said that your sister ruined it, that did it instead. What proof do you have? What do you guys think about this one? There's definitely somebody who's dishonest in this. It's either the sister or it's the bridesmaid. Our last story today is by Most Incident 6212. Am I the butthole for taking my new family on vacation to my home country even though my ex and kids never got to go? My ex was never interested in traveling to the country where I was born. It was dirty and dangerous. And even though the local schools offered Spanish as a second language, she wouldn't enroll them. We took the kids on fun vacations. Disney, the Grand Canyon, that sort of thing. cruises and all-inclusives. We got divorced for a million reasons. After a while, I met my current wife. She had a daughter, and now we have a son. We decided to take the kids to meet my extended family this year. So we took a month off and went. We went snorkeling, glamping in the jungle, motorcycled through the desert, and ate way too much. We posted all about our trip with a lot of pictures and videos. My kids had a blast. My ex called me when we got back. Our kids were upset that I'd taken my new family on this adventure, but I never took them. I pointed out that she never wanted to go and that she never let me or my parents teach the kids Spanish. I told her that I had done all this stuff alone before when I went home. When the kids came over, I showed them pictures from all the trips I took alone because their mom didn't want to go and wouldn't let me take them. Now she's calling me a butthole for telling our kids the fact that she was the reason they never went. It sounds to me like your ex-wife tried to manipulate your kids into believing that you just never wanted to go and never took them anywhere. And she's jealous about this trip for some reason. It sounds like you guys had a great time. I always wanted to go snorkeling. I've never done this thing called glamping in the jungle. I've never even heard of that word before. Motorcycling through the desert sounds cool as well. And of course, who doesn't like to eat way too much? Your ex-wife is just a resentful person who's trying to turn your kids against you, and I'm so glad that you told your kids about this and showed them the pictures of other trips you've taken without her. She was the blockade, and you're not the butthole for pointing that out. Our stories for today have come to a close. Until we meet again, have a splendid day.